Writing a book from start to finish and getting it published is one of the most challenging tasks any writer faces in their lives. You see, thousands of writers start this journey, yet only a fraction of them complete it and get their books out. An even smaller number go on to become successes, but only a handful of really special authors go on and build a name and a brand for themselves using their book. Today we have with us Mr. PC Balasubramanian, often referred to as PC or just Bala. He is an entrepreneur, professional speaker, and an author of multiple best-selling books like Ready, Steady, Exit, Grand Rajini's Panchatantra, and the currently trending Jujube. Mr. Bala, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Likewise, Sushant, I'm very, very glad to be part of this show. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. So, Mr. Bala, I'm going to get started right away. You started out with your first book, Rajini's Panchatantra, in 2010. And then you did Grand Rajini in 2012, after which you explored the fiction genre in Ready, Steady, Exit, right? And now your latest book, Jujube, which was published earlier this year. You've sort of created a brand for yourself that is deeply influenced by none other than superstar Rajinikanth. So where did this association actually come from and start?
It's a very long story. My association with the most respectable Mr. Rajinikanth started in the year 1975 when he was launched into Tamil cinema. Okay, so it is admiration, love, respect at first sight, and that relationship with him continued for several years, and even now it continues. It has become, in fact, stronger and stronger ever since I first saw him on screen. And of course, I never thought I would be doing a book around him. You know, I was yet another great fan, more than a fan, an admirer of brand Rajinikanth. You know, as an actor, as a personality, as an iconic figure, as an influential person, as a very nice gentleman to move with, and very powerful, very powerful star on screen. So, I mean, we can add a lot of things to Mr. Rajinikanth. It will be appropriate to do that. He's an ambassador for our state as regards culture is concerned. Yeah.
So, of course, like, putting aside the obvious connection with the superstar, your books have also had a solid foundation when it comes to content. Like, take a look at your latest book, Jujube, for example. You attempt to address some of the most common problems that plague modern day humans. Through simple, powerful ideas and solutions that can, bright up every day, right? And put them on a journey towards joyful being. Can you elaborate a little bit about your book, Jujube, your latest book?
I will do that. Thanks for mentioning that the contents are quite relevant and rich. See, the contents are actually very simple, but very relevant to each one of us, irrespective of our age, irrespective of the place we live. And I'm a strong believer that in simplicity, there is enormous amount of joy. And we take it for granted. A lot of things, whatever comes easy to us, we take it for granted. So the whole logic is not being preachy about creating happiness or going through the happiness ride. But the point is, I'm highlighting and reminding to the readers, several other people, that the sources for such happiness is just around us. You have to really be identifying them, enjoy them, and thank them. That you have all these sources. So it's a reminder service, perhaps to say, and hence it is very simple. But I mean, as somebody said, these are very simple, but not very easy, to follow. So these are very simple steps to follow. And this Jujube is an impact because of I wrote this book because I have been seeing many people who are bestowed with many goodies in life, but still they are unhappy most of the times. They become cribbers, and they are very stressed. Too much of aspirations get into them, and hence I thought I should do this book. And luckily, all this, this is the only part where it is lucky, where due to this lockdown and pandemic, times, the relevance of the book has become even more important to the people.
Absolutely. Yeah, in fact, the book has also been getting some rave reviews from both book lovers and book critics all over the country, right? I hope you're aware that it's being referred to as the Ikigai of India. How does that make you feel?
I feel little embarrassed about it. Okay. Yeah, I have also read Ikigai, and there is definitely relevance between Ikigai and Jujube. It's not that it was, this book is not inspired because of Ikigai, but this is more Indian and Ikigai relates to a specific, place in Japan, how people live long life and a happy life, with less stress and so on. But this is for everybody, as I said. So this is even more global, I would put it this way. And it's applicable. I hope, I'm very thankful that I'm getting phenomenal reviews, and people are calling and talking to me, even not just friends, even acquaintances, unknown people. They message me, they mail me after reading this book. So that is very gratifying. And this is what a writer would want, end of the day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So moving on, I also want to ask you, from Panchatantra to Grand Rajini to Jujube, may I ask, right?
This is the first book from here to, and the relevance, you can see the relevance. Jujube is also associated with Rajinikanth, if you know about, if you know. Yeah, this is a term that he normally uses as normally used in several movies.
Exactly, that's what I was getting at. I just wanted to understand how you arrived at the titles for your book. Do you have a process when it comes to selecting the book titles?
Good question. I will go step after step. Rajini's Panchatantra was my first book. I became an author by accident. I must confess that. And everything was fine, but the title, we couldn't get a proper title. And finally, my co-author, in fact, my mentor for this book, Raja Krishnamurthy's wife, she gave me this title that why not it be called as Panchatantra, okay? Because you have this Panchatantra stories, and this is all about amazing lessons from Mr. Rajinikanth's signature statements on screen. So I'm thankful to her. She gave the title. And moving on to Grand Brand Rajini, I didn't want a Grand Brand Rajini title. Actually, I gave the title as Is Rajini the Big B or Rajini the Big B. Okay. But my publisher felt that it could be a little more controversial because there is a big B and why should we? But I wanted that. It's not controversy. Big B here refers to brand. Rajinikanth is a great brand, amazing brand. But finally, I had to settle for Grand Brand Rajini. And Ready Steady Exit is again from, Chennai Express had this tagline, Ready Steady Po. And from there, I derived Ready Steady Exit. And my next book was A Drizzle in the Desert. I mean, that's a title I coined based on the narrative of the book. It's a very emotional drama. And finally, Jujube. Again, I had a very preachy title initially. I didn't like it. My publisher also didn't like it. He wanted a single word, maybe inspired by Ikigai, perhaps. And finally, again, thanks to Mr. Rajinikanth, his influence on me, his impact on me, I realized that Jujube could be the most appropriate title for this because in any situation, difficult situation, messy situation, you would have seen Superstar uttering this dialogue. 10 people come and try to bash him up, and he will just come on Jujube. Somebody asks him whether you have 100 lakhs to pay now, he says Jujube, right? So life is like that. In every situation, you can actually take it little easy. Again, not preachy, okay? A lot of difficult situations, but manage it because there are many uncontrollable aspects in life. Why do you want to bother about them? Life is Jujube. It's all about creating Jujube moments and living the Jujube moments. So that's why this title, and I loved this title after coining it. I hope you like it. I hope you like this title.
I love it, and in fact, I think the titles also have played a huge part in the like in building the visibility for the book, and in making it the success it is today. Right.
I don't know because South Indians can relate to Jujube a lot. Okay, because and maybe even Tamil. I don't know about other states. It's a risk. I think
at least when it comes to Rajni, is more of a global phenomenon than just a South Indian phenomenon. So he is like well revered all across India and the world, in fact. So moving on, you're also a professional speaker, right? And while Rajni's Panchatantra and Grand Brand Rajni became a subject for your speaking, for your speeches at corporate events, do you see Jujube also becoming a subject for your speaking presentation?
It has already become. In fact, 1 or 2 sessions I've already had through Zoom. Now you don't have the luxury of going to a banquet hall or at a corporate office to present all of this. But digitally, it just started. Jujube has also started because it's a subject for everyone and a very relevant subject today, a lot more relevant. But even thanks to Panchatantra's success, Rajini's Panchatantra's success as a speaking subject, even if I opt to speak on some other subject, the people who invite me generally request me to talk more on Rajini's Panchtantra. I mean, that has become an iconic speaking subject also. It's traveled to at least about 60, 70 podiums, corporate, business schools, education institutions, so on. Jujube, I'm sure will travel the same way. 100% sure about it.
All right. So, and finally, I want to talk about your author brand, that is PC Bala, which is very deeply influenced by superstar Rajinikanth. To what extent do you feel this close association with the superstars actually helped build your brand as an author?
See, I didn't consciously build a brand using his name. The first book was around Mr. Rajinikanth, Panchtantra, and the publisher was so excited the book became a national bestseller. He wanted to do another book on Rajinikanth for a special birthday, 12-12-12. And hence Grand Brand Rajini happened. And then he moved on to do fiction. But, the love for that person, the admiration for that person, in every book, in all my books, even if it is fiction, up to Jujube, there is a mention of Rajinikanth somewhere or other. Okay. So he is getting featured in every book of mine. And hopefully that will continue. It's not that I'm building a brand based on that, but it's just happened. It just happened.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Bala, for joining us today. I'm sure our viewers had a lot to learn about building a brand with their book. And I hope to catch you soon again some other time. It was a real pleasure talking to you.
It is a pleasure. Thanks for giving me Jujube moments. Thank you so much, son.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.